Retro Rocks gaming videos.
The 80s was a high point for games in general, specifically shooters and action games. They were fabulous during that time. Games like Kaboom, like Pac-Man, like Defender, all these great games came out during that time. Pure racing games, however, weren't as good of a scene. In fact, it was a little bit more crash and burn than it was burning rubber. No need to despair though, there were some diamonds in the rough out there, and here's 5 of the best racing games of the 80s. Number 5, Turbo. Turbo was released into the arcades by Sega in 1981 and was later released for the ColecoVision. Before Turbo appeared on the scene, racing games were a pretty basic affair. Sure, Atari's Night Driver gave players a midnight racing experience with a few random buildings here and there. But for the first time, Turbo actually had you racing among city buildings and driving through the dark all in the same game. The ColecoVision version with its awesome steering wheel and excellent graphics was as close to arcade as the home scene would see for years.
Prepare to qualify.
Number 4, Pole Position 2, made in 1983 by Namco. Available in the arcades and ported to nearly everything else and can still be picked up today, Pole Position was one of the first racing games that actually felt like you were in a race. Plus, the explosions when you hit another car were epic. Why are there no new Pole Position games being released? Pole Position 2 is the packing game for the Atari 7800 and was an excellent home tribute to the arcade classic. Number 3, Pit Stop 2, made in 1984 by Epyx for the Commodore 64, Atari, Apple II, and pretty much everything else at the time. Lots has been made of the popular 2-player split-screen mode, and rightfully so, but it's the mechanics of running the tires until they were ragged, along with trying to gas up your car fast enough to jump ahead a couple positions, that kept me hooked. Pit Stop 2 proves that a racing game doesn't have to be from the arcades to be great. Number 2, Outrun by Sega. Outrun roared its way into the arcades back in 1986. Its amazing soundtrack, graphics, and non-linear racing path won over players both in the arcade and at home, with a whole bunch of excellent ports for home computers and game systems, but the Sega Genesis version takes the cake. A big old thumbs up to the Master System as well for the extra effort in making a great 8-bit port of a powerful 16-bit game. And number 1, RC ProAm. In 1986, it was released by Nintendo for the NES. Great fun, cool isometric graphics, and excellent controls round out one of the 8-bit era's finest games. Nintendo's Play Choice arcade machine ensured that RC ProAm ate its fair share of quarters as well. Bonus fact, did you know that RC ProAm was later ported to the Sega Genesis as Championship ProAm? Who'da thunk? And that's it, my top 5 racing games of the 80s. Disagree? Got your own? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more.
Retro Rocks gaming videos.